Wayne's World way.
I didn't. I didn't. I don't even remember how the Wayne's World way goes. Okay. All right. All right. We're online, ready to go, boys. All right. Welcome to Urban Shadows. Welcome to New Midian. I'm Scott of Scott's Case Files, and the stars of the show are starting on this side. Steve.
Hi.
Playing as Adrian, the vessel, a man of few words this evening. He's getting into character. Then we have here Aaron.
Yep. I'm Eugene Banks. I'm the hunter.
Excellent. And then over here we have, last but not least, Mark.
And I am Kyle the Doc Ito, a
Awesome.
veteran. The veteran. A veteran?
The veteran.
The veteran.
You're like the best of them all type of thing.
But out.
Exactly. Cool. All right. So when last we left our intrepid adventurers, let's see, done some like very minor things like, oh, that's right, you blew a wizard's hand off.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Stole his focus ring.
Oh, is that what that
sounds
is?
like I had any part in it.
You're a conspirator, Adrian.
You helped me get out alive. So.
And in alive, so good job. Really, you were almost the ringleader. At least that's what Eugene's going to say.
I don't know about that. I don't mind putting up a good fight.
Excellent. And let's see, the doc didn't actually participate in the break-in. He was doing some other doc business. So before we kind of get things going, I just want to bring Doc up to speed. Now, one of the conflicts, rumors that Eugene brought up last session, actually theoretically involved you. So I kind of want to hear your slant on it. The idea was that a member of his brotherhood, the Hunter Brotherhood, what do they call it again, Aaron? Eugene?
Oh, the Maktuyo clan?
The Maktuyo clan. A member of the Maktuyo clan is coming through with a powerful artifact. And the talk in the street was that maybe because it was quite a powerful artifact and interesting, the doc may have had wanted a piece of it, that kind of thing.
Okay, powerful artifact, getting a piece.
Yeah, so does that sound like a Doc Ito thing?
Yes, I think that might be a thing. I'm trying to remember which, who I grabbed for my, the base, the room, the things that I picked.
Oh, good question. Let's see here.
So warehouse hideout, it was... yes, I would be very interested in said artifact.
Yeah, I think one of the things you make, you do the artifacts which help make your items, either holy, silver, etc., etc.
Yep.
So the artifacts were part of your thing.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Where did you mark that out of curiosity? I don't see it. Is it on your...
It's in the under followers workspace. I picked the medical station, machining tools, and a scattering of ancient relics.
I see. Perfect.
It probably should have been up in the items tags.
That's fine. It's not. It's good places I need to put it. And it kind of is your follower. It's in a sense it is your minion.
Nice.
Cool. All right. I just want to see what your take was on that. We're gonna kind of get stuff started hot. However, we still want to do our session intro move. So let's take a look at that. All right. So basically, each person it'll choose the person they trust least, and that person will spotlight a faction for them, and then at that point they'll make a oops, sorry, I'm just trying to... Oh, there we are. They will tell me about a rumor or conflict that involves them with that faction, and that's how we keep the drama going. So why don't we start with Steve? or Adrian, would you want to start us off?
Sure. I'm gonna say Kyle the Doc because he was nowhere where we needed him. Arm the wizard's base.
Strangely absent from the attack on the wizard's abode.
So I currently only have Wild checked, so he can choose any other faction.
Nice.
This is the this is the faction I choose least.
No, this is
the
no
faction I'm trying to
Whatever
Yes.
faction you want to hear more about.
my
Yeah.
mark, right?
right. Yes.
Power.
Power.
Ooh, good on.
Well, let's go with the obvious since I'm definitely embroiled in it anyways.
Mhm.
Specifically the wizards are on a warpath after the violation of one of their sanctums. And they know they heard a rumor that someone in Night was involved. And they're probably coming down hard on both the wolves and the vamps.
Cool. All right. So let's
And I roll with power.
Yep, roll his power.
Roll power. Session intro. There it is.
All right, 7. All right, 7 and 9. You're neck deep in it. You owe someone in that faction, and someone in that faction owes a debt to you. So concerning that, who do you want to exchange debts with?
Is it the same person?
It can be. It says someone in that faction owes you debt.
I was going to say, because
Yeah, it
if
can be two
someone,
different.
if I owe someone a debt, it's probably Lestrange, since I was, or is that who we went after?
Lagrange.
Lagrange. Because obviously he knows I was involved. I think I'm on probably more than one camera.
Okay, so you owe him. You feel?
Plus, we were face to face. Yeah, because if he knows who and what I am, he knows that I probably shouldn't have been. I was probably given orders to do so, but I
Gotcha.
probably owe him.
All right, that's fair. Okay, so
And then
who owes you?
Who owes me? I'm gonna say. I don't know what Julian's alliance is, but maybe Julian owes me a debt because him and Lagrange were at odds for power.
All right, sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Works for me. I'm just adjusting something real quick. What? All right, cool. So let's go to Eugene, please. Same. Who should spotlight you?
Oh, yeah. Please, spotlight. So I think I'm going to pick Adrian just because I know that I tempted him.
In what way did you tempt him?
Well, not that he would necessarily be the direct conflict, but I believe he had to resist himself from taking me down after I had shot that wizard's hand off.
Oh, so yeah, that's why you trust him least, because maybe he could have turned on you right then.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Well, I guess I just made it out of that one alive or something,
Right.
So let's go with Wild then.
Okay. For Wild, I would say after destroying John Wilkes, the Tainted and the Demon Nest, that whoever they worship or whoever they are tainted by, they are definitely gonna seek some revenge of some sort for that, which I'd rather look forward to. So
Nice. All right. Roll plus wild then. With the intro move, please.
oh, yeah. Okay. Choosing wild, and then which one am I clicking?
I believe it's the intro move, right? On the character sheet there.
Yeah, you do the drop down to make sure the role has the right word in it, and then click the session intro.
Why do I not see that? All I see is
Right below the factions, right below the 4 factions. There's a role.
is it session intro?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
right above that's a dialogue drop down.
that I got.
Yep. So drop down
So-
that and
That's set on wild, and I'm going to choose session intro.
perfect. Nice. Another 9.
Yeah.
All right. So you're neck deep in it. You owe someone in that faction a debt, and someone in that faction owes you. Concerning
Okay.
this, so who owes you a debt?
In that faction,
Yeah.
let's see. Did we leave somebody alive? I can't remember.
No, you destroyed them all.
destroyed them
In
all.
true hunter fashion. Might
So
be
they're from that faction, but they don't necessarily have to be another tainted person,
No.
right?
no. It's the faction that matters here.
Yeah,
It should have
So-
something to do with this whole group that's maybe after revenge, but yeah.
Right. So that was wild. So I'm gonna say that while they probably weren't the biggest thorn in their side, there was a dragon that lived next door, basically.
Oh, you're bringing the dragon in.
Yeah.
Nice.
The owner of a C-store, and whatever they were doing was messing with all of his income somehow, and he was having a hard time keeping his front going, whatever that is. So
Awesome. All right, so the dragon owes you a debt.
yeah, because
And-
now he has full control again.
Nice. And who do you owe?
Uh,
Also in that same faction. Wild.
I would say I probably owe Adrian in this one, just because he was such a great Kool-Aid man there. So he made it easy.
Alright, do you accept that debt? Does that sound logical to you, Adrian?
Sure.
All right.
I definitely helped him out.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, and last but not least, Doc. Who do you trust least of the group?
So if I was incommunicado doing other things, I'm gonna say most likely I will probably have trusted Adrian the least, only because I don't know him as well.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see. Let's see what's up with your faction. Mortality.
You choose mortality?
I choose mortality.
Excellent.
Got it.
All right, Doc. What's the conflict, etc., going on potentially?
I think it's so I apologize. I cannot remember exactly from the past session of the interaction and connection. So I would say the conflict is probably just not quite knowing the full motives yet. That's very non-specific.
Of like what, for example?
So perhaps maybe why Adrian is helping us officially, because I'm still pretty wrapped in remembering about the whole do the thing for the mafia people.
Oh, for the vampire?
The vampire mobsters.
Gotcha. I get what you're saying. So what you're looking for though is like a conflict. I mean, is there something that a conflict or rumor that kind of that you're involved in? Like I suppose, what am I trying to communicate? So it's like, so for this move, it's basically you're creating something. You're creating a conflict, creating something new. So it's not like
Oh,
there's
okay.
it's not so much or not even necessarily new, but kind of enveloping into what's already happened. So yeah, if you want to do something with like Adrian, like maybe let's say for example, I'll throw it out there, like uh because Adrian this is like, you haven't had a whole lot of experience with Adrian, you decided to reach out to some mortality contacts who might have known him or something like that, and that got you embroiled in something, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Perhaps in relation to trying to find, so knowing that, you have had a long life, perhaps you know about some artifacts or relics that I could be interested in.
Gotcha. So you're basically so there's someone who within like mortality would you have talked to? And I can actually,
Uh,
you know what? Let's bring this up just to maybe help you out. I'm gonna bring you over to the NPC list.
Yes.
yes, thank you. My notes
And
are horrid and I've missed a bit, so.
you're fine. You're fine. Let's bring that up. There we go. Okay. So for mortality, we have a couple people that are already around, and you can kind of wrap them in. Um, Eric, Kyra Dude, Darla, Eugene's sister, and Captain Richard Walker, who actually has a relationship with Adrian. Not a relationship, interaction with Adrian.
Yeah.
Though you may or may not know that. That's also kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
So,
maybe you heard something about Adrian. Captain Richard Walker is familiar with him, so maybe you explored, kind of questioned him as to some stuff, and we can figure out
yeah,
what the.
just throwing a motive out there of kind of like a little bit of maybe hoarding gear looking at for thing and knowing how old he is. So yeah, reaching because so Captain Walker is located in the city, and again, I need to still sort of maintain my kind of behind the scenes sort of role to stay out of conflict. And so, say in past interactions, I've had some contact with him, but perhaps not knowing necessarily he's had contact with Adrian. I kind of like that. And again, curious about potential history and the fact that I know that he has had some motivation against or interaction with wizards themselves. So I don't know if that's really a conflict, but more of an activity.
I don't know. Can you guys help him out here? Where can we make the conflict in this relationship if we're going to do Captain Walker?
Do we want a conflict between Walker and I, or between someone and the captain?
Ooh, that's a good
Oh,
one.
or
Because
perhaps
just the fact that Eugene's, or not Eugene, the Kyle's talking to captain. Maybe the hunters are now interacting with the captain. That's putting things at risk.
Gotcha. What were you saying there, Doc?
yeah, I was going to say also too, perhaps the conflict is the captain doesn't want to help me out or provide any information because he knows Adrian.
All right, so you're digging.
Yep, I'm digging, but
You're the conflict.
I will end up being the conflict because he may not want because he's not going to necessarily know that the two of us know each other, and he wouldn't want to give Adrian up.
Interesting. That's close. We'll take it. But basically, it's basically the idea is it's not so much. It's hard for me to put into words right now for some reason. But the conflict is basically what is like the. Oh man, why can I I know
I'd say
exactly.
what's going on behind the scenes with the faction.
Yeah, why is there a conflict with the faction? But so yeah, we can work with this. This is something we can definitely work with. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with this and the other conflicts. But yeah, the idea is to like you're bringing out a conflict that you're going to be involved in. So this kind of fits the bill. So we'll work with this. So why don't you do your roll with mortality, your intro move. We'll kind of see where that goes.
Eight succeeds partially.
Okay, so like the other guys, you're neck deep in it. You exchange. You have a a debt on someone else, and someone else has a debt on you. It can be a new NPC. We can create. This is where we create stuff too. So like you have, but they had in this case they have to be both with mortality. Mortality is the important grounding factor here. So, like for example, do we want to create another NPC that owes you, or that you owe maybe for getting contacts? Getting more information on Adrian that led you to the captain, that kind of thing. Like you owe him, or
Yeah, it's actually quite difficult to think on the spot because I don't have a particular storyline that I'm thinking of. That my motivation is really to stay out of the spotlight. So why I would be actually forcing conflict? I'm trying to think of like why would I do that? What am I trying to get?
it could be you're trying to get information kind of around the sides,
Yeah, I guess
from
it. Okay, so as I'm trying to acquire gear and information about stuff from behind the scenes, so in terms of so I have a debt that I owe. That is what I'm describing.
and
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 someone
that
who knows
and
you.
someone owes you at the same time. They don't have to be the
Okay,
same person, but they both have to be mortality.
yeah. So I think I owe a debt to, say, a new mortality actor. Um,
Okay.
and this will be somebody also from my deep past who happens to be in the region. And this will be a former agent who was on the troubleshooter team. And her name would be Sarah. And I don't have a specific last name at the moment. And
Maybe
she's
as
based,
maybe as agents, you only used first names or something like that.
yeah,
Is she like a
that
former agent,
sounds
still an
right.
agent?
Well, former, like in my platoon or in my area. Don't really interact all the time with her, but still in the past. And um, so I owe her a debt for out, um, checking out Captain Walker, just to make sure that I'm getting decent information about the gear that I'm interested in that perhaps Adrian might know about.
Okay, so you're kind of skirting around the back scenes here. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And then,
you owe her, and who owes you?
so I owe her a debt because she's doing that information. And who owes me? Uh, Pretty mundane because it's mortality, and I don't have anything that fully interacts yet. But so Eric, the repair guy, also helps keep my vehicle in shape. So I know I have a truck. Yes. So Eric, also helps maintain my pickup truck.
Okay.
So he owes me a repair.
All right. So you aren't quite getting the intro move yet, but we'll
Nope.
figure it out later. So, okay, so we'll leave it. We'll leave it at the Eric the repair guy owes you a debt. That's fine. So basically, okay, maybe we're not gonna have you redo this because it's definitely gonna work. So the idea of the conflict is you're creating new story. You're either taking story that already exists and adding more to it, which you're kind of doing with this. Like basically you're the conflict. There's no conflict there really is the problem with this thing because
Correct.
nobody really knows about it. So there's no conflict that you've created here. So it really doesn't count. However, it is like a back plan that you're doing that will possibly cause conflict because you're digging up trash on Adrian or information on him without his knowledge, and that might get back to him. And you're working with you just brought a new NPC in who is you know getting information. So this is a good idea for you to owe her because she got you information in this kind of quasi conflict. Eric the car repair guy really wouldn't count as a guy who owes you anything because of this conflict because he's not in this conflict.
Got it.
So kind of get again. I'll in the week I'll send you some examples of conflicts that I'm talking about and what these debts mean. But I don't want to take up too much more time here. So we'll leave it
Yep.
at that. So Sarah you owe Sarah debt, and Eric you owe Eric a debt, and we'll leave it there. But like I said, I'll put it out actually on Discord. Kind of like some examples of debts, and have you guys join in and pop in your own for examples type of stuff. just so you guys get a better grasp on what this is meant to do. But basically, so this is and also this opening move is, this is your opportunity as a player, not the character, but as a player, to choose where the story goes and what your character explores. So if you're like Eugene's like, we never hunt demons. Well, he's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna like bring out, if he gets a wild conflict highlighted for him, he's then going to say, oh yeah, there's this big, there's this thing going on where they're trying to muscle in on some friends of mine, these demons, so I'm going to get in on that, or there's an upcoming conflict with this group and this group, and so he's going to basically make the conflict. So there's this conflict and it somehow involves me, and in this conflict I owe this guy because he wants to save my life from these guys at one point, and this other guy owes me because I chased the same group out of her bar, type of thing, and that kind of led to this conflict happening in the first place. So again, these are just stuff we'll go over, but this is your opportunity to make the story what you want it to be, kind of steer it in the direction and get the stories told that you want. This is kind of your power. Not that I don't try to get you guys involved in the story, but this is your way to steer it and leverage your power to create the story that you want. That kind of
I'm
thing.
glad you explained that, because I didn't really truly catch that this whole time. Like, I figured, well, it should make sense with the story, but I never really put it together that, like, okay, this is my opportunity to make the game go the way I want it to. So now I know.
Cool.
It's going to be different.
Excellent. That's what I want to hear. I want you guys to make it your own. That's important. Cool. All right. So basic moves are done. Been kind of slow here, so we're gonna go in what they call in media res, which means in the middle of it all, in the middle of that shit. So, given what's happened with the last episode, you guys rated there's this war going on over the lee lines down the Tenderloin, and it's between the wizards and the Fey Court, the Winter Court, and basically up until now, you guys have been pretty on the sidelines, but you just basically attacked a wizard that's, whether you realize it or not at this point, probably is one of the bigger figures on the wizard side, or at least for this conflict. Not necessarily big guy in the whole wizard community, but again, very important to this. So anyway, so right now we're going to start in the middle of this, where you guys find yourself, at least the three of you, actually the two of you, Adrian and Eugene, you're going to find yourselves sitting in the art museum. In the art museum.
Art museum.
Yep. You guys were forcibly invited here by a bunch, like a large enough number of Fey Court thugs that it would have really been a bad idea to resist. And plus, and they gave you a a safe passage promise from the Queen Mab herself. So you guys are gonna basically meet her and her court there
For something that we don't know, but she's going to tell us.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. So yeah, you guys are sitting in the one of the display rooms. It's kind of one of those where it's like a big empty square room with only the stuff on the the paintings on the wall with the occasional sculpture, but everything's around the perimeter. In the middle, the only real thing there are several benches where people would sit to look, that kind of thing. And the Fey Court has, at least for tonight, perhaps every night, you have no idea, they transformed it into kind of like a throne room. They've put up like a bunch of chairs and linens and some tapestries are hanging here and there that don't belong, that kind of thing. It definitely has that winter theme. It's and it's definitely, the whole idea of the room is meant to draw attention to the one person that matters here, and that's Mab. So as you guys enter this room, she is sitting on her throne in the far side of the room. She is, I'm going to say, a tall, statuesque woman. Kind of, you know, it's like her features are very angular, and so is her body. Like here, instead of whereas we have like cuts when we get big muscles, hers are like angles. There's she's not quite right as we humans would recognize the humanoid form. Um, and she is wearing nothing but like white and silver. Basically, it's a white long dress that's impossibly long. If she had to get up and run right now, she would be dead because she would trip over it, and it's just impossible. It's literally like 20 feet longer than it needs to be. This gown, and it takes up the entire floor in front of and behind her. Overall, it's like silver jewelry has been like actually sewn into it, or even silver threads are made up making up the gown itself. But she, if it when on the points when like a light above kind of catches it just right, she almost sparkles. And you guys are brought in front of her. Again, there's so many courtiers here. Like I said, it would have been a bad idea to resist at first, and it's probably an even worse idea here.
I was just thinking tactically, if she's in a dress where she can't really get up and run, then she's got to be covered, well covered.
Right. So yeah, you have the courtiers which have brought you in, the courtiers, the thugs, and you have actual courtiers, people that look like they were, they're just very well to do. Nobody specifically, and you can almost assume just looking at her that this is a rule that nobody can quote unquote outshine the queen. So everyone else might be wearing white and a little silver, but they definitely stay. They dress like austerity style as compared to her, with the whole jewelry thing. But they're wearing like white tuxedos with tails and very elegant, but still very, you know, she's the focus of this room. She is the art piece for it that you're looking at. So yeah, as you get
I'll
yeah, go ahead.
I'll kneel, which is I assume the correct protocol
Sure.
before I'm made to knelt.
Certainly. What do you do, Adrian? When I'm sorry, Eugene, when Adrian gets down on a knee?
Oh, I think we just lost you.
Oop, who we
No,
lose?
he's still there.
Oh no, I just didn't hear it. I thought we lost you,
Oh,
but no.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I'll follow suit. I'm good for that.
All right. She kind of gives off this weird chuckle, and this chuckle, her voice is not. Again, it's human enough where you might bat an eyelash at it, but it's, you turn away and go on with your day after you heard her speak. But there's enough to this tone that it's like it's otherworldly. It doesn't belong. She's not from around here. Weird. This is weird.
Sorry.
It's all right. So yeah. So she chuckles in this otherworldly chuckle and puts her hand out. Rise, rise.
I will.
You're not my subjects quite yet. And she kind of gives that wink. Like, do you know why I brought you here?
We messed with something.
she one of her courtiers kind of whispers, does one of those things where he whispers in her ear. He goes, "Oh, he's making a joke." I see. Thank you, Rupert. And she looks back and it's like, "Yes, you have screwed something up." So I know that Adrian, whereas we might not have met, I know you've spent some time with one of my underlings. And she's already approached you, yes? Or do I have to have her flogged for lying?
Let me think. What was her name? That was a couple episodes back.
Yeah, let's go.
Ashura.
Yeah, let's go over there. Yes, Ashra, her pixie vassal.
I've spoken with Ashra,
Hmm.
someone I've given information to help your cause.
Nice. She's she kind of gives you that look. Again, she's well aware of the history of prior to any meeting like that, you did bust up a couple of their properties, etc., etc. But it seems like for now, she couldn't care in the least, and it's like there's a war going on. There's a war going on. It's a cute war. There's a war going on. It's between my court and the mages, the, the people of power in this city.
I'm
And
aware.
yes, whether either of you are aware, as of the other night, you took a side, and it doesn't mean that you support the Winter Court, though I certainly hope you do. More to the fact of they are now your enemies, and they want your heads. So you might as well be on my side, help me, and take care of them. Am I running on the same thought pattern that you gentlemen are by any chance?
Hmm. I turned to Adrian. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can.
Muted anymore? Okay. I turned to Adrian, like this. Who are these people again?
Holy shit.
Adrian almost rolls his eyes, but
He's being
I
defiant, by the way.
I think there's is he?
I do want to point out that he's being defiant
Which let's see if
in
my
the
natural
in the face of
is
a
to
powerful
break
person.
them. Huh.
In the face of a powerful person, he's being defiant.
Say no to power.
I think I need to resist schooling him.
I think so.
All right, let's go ahead and where are we here? Keep your
Can I
cool.
just roll with spirit, yeah.
Yep, we're keeping your cool for this one. Let's see how you do.
I'm just looking to see if I have a button for that. I don't think I do.
For keep your cool?
Right.
You should have.
No, for the instinct specifically,
Oh, gotcha.
just for the purposes of rolling. I miss. What does that mean?
Oh, no.
So it means you
What did I do?
it means you can't resist your programming, your instinct.
Oh.
I backhand Eugene. More of a a lesson backhand rather than a beatdown.
Yeah.
This is Queen Mob, Queen of the Winter Court, ruler of the Fae.
Yeah.
Do not insult her again.
Like nose smashed to marble. Get it.
I won't have you take any harm for that. That was more of a daddy slapping you for getting his magazines or something like that than an actual wounding one. So we'll let that one fly. Are you going to do anything about that, or is it wise to let it go at this point?
I'm just gonna look very cool when I get up. That's
As in cold or as in
no, as
suave.
in slick.
Yeah, how could you not? That's like one of your actual moves, isn't it? Recover from beatdown. Awesome. All right. Yeah, you get back up. Queen Mab seems amused at the interplay here. She kind of lets out that sigh, like, oh, geez, I have to explain it to another mortal. She's like, as I was saying, war, mages, Winter Court. You've already upset the mages to a degree which they're not happy with you. In fact, and she goes like this, they bring in two of the thug courtiers off to one of the sides. They bring in a mage that you don't recognize really, but you know a mage when you see one, Adrian. And they have basically beaten the living snot out of him. He probably has like a couple arcane symbols tattooed along his neckline. You know, he's one of those street mages. And yeah, he's like looking at. He like looks up at you. There's like blood coming out of his face, and he just kind of looks up at you. He's like, "I'm sorry, I." And he looks up at Eugene, and he's like, he actually meant to talk to Eugene, but he's so fucked up. He just reacted the first thing he saw. He's like, I was looking for information on you, Hunter. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was sent by Lagrange. It's not my fault. And then the Mab's like, did you want to deal with this, Eugene, or can I?
No, let him go.
Let him go. Well, since you're my guest, I'm going to do my best to treat you well. So I'm going to acquiesce to your request. And she makes the thing, the little gesture and nods, and the two thugs kind of help the dude to his feet as best he can and turn him around, and it looks like they're walking him out.
So, can I ask you a question?
Are you talking to me or Mab?
Mab.
You just have. And she kind of looks around like very confused to everyone. Like
She's not really joking, is she? That's
no.
yeah.
She's not from around here.
Why not just let them get us? Why not just let the Winter Court take us? Why would you want us to join you?
She's like, well, in a war, it's hard to stay neutral. And since you can't be used by the mages, since they actually want you Hunter, and I have use for you, you might as well be on my side. Because in exchange for fighting for me, I might offer you some protection. I'm not. I've heard enough about you. I've asked the right questions to the right people, or more to the point, had others ask the right questions of you to the right people.
But still, I mean, that's even going to cost you more. So, what is it that exactly we can do for you?
Oh, I will let you know. Yes. I know. I heard a rumor, though, that in addition to you, both of you, there was to be a third in the debacle that was brought upon the Lagrange character. Where is he? My sources say that there was a third.
Putting around in a workshop.
Yeah.
No.
I would like to not tell her.
Yeah, that's.
But
what
I think
I'm
I actually have to
too.
roll for that.
Serve the powerful.
Too.
All right, go for it. Let's roll again. Keep your cool.
Don't backhand me.
Don't backhand me. All right. Let's see. 7 to 9.
What does that mean?
That is a good question because this is the first time we've kept the cool like this. For struggling
is it just
against
under basic moves then.
Yeah.
What it's going to cost me?
Yeah. What will it cost you to do so? Let's say, for sake of this, let's have you take a harm. Your inner workings are actually protesting this whole thing. But Mark,
I can see that.
Mark redemption though.
Done and done.
Okay, so you successfully resisted telling. Let's see here.
Wow.
I'm just gonna write it down as out of sorts.
Yes. So, and just for Aaron and I'm sorry, Eugene and the Doc's info. This is all about Adrian has instincts. He's programmed. He's basically, for all intents and purposes, he is a robot, and he has his programming. And part of his journey here is, do I just submit to that programming, or do I try to resist it and break it and make myself my own creature? So that's what this is all exploring when he's doing these roles. And as usual, Steve, please, if you please volunteer to roll it if I don't catch something. But I'm definitely trying to note when that happens.
No, we haven't been many times where we've been face to face with, quote unquote, the powerful.
Yes, this is the
And,
powerful.
the queen of the fairy court. Yes. A standard vampire. Not really.
Not so much. Cool.
Oh, Queen Mab, you must understand. His secrets are for him to keep.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be if we lived in a world where truly there were unicorns and bubblegum drops grew on the street, little children eating them, and rainbows and sunshine. Yes, that would be true. However, we live in New Midian. In New Midian, I know a little of everything. And she goes like this, and that's when you see Doc Ito is brought in by a pair of thugs.
How does he look?
He is not busted up. But Doc, you definitely were taken against your will. You were black hooded, basically.
Nice.
And here's where we end up.
Security.
You were probably out on the street, when they probably took you when you're at your most vulnerable.
Right.
Was
Getting in and out of my car.
There's that. But yeah, so Doc shows up and she's like, the third in your group, who wasn't there, strangely, I would actually probably think of him in a better way. He has been making weapons to be used against my court. Isn't that true, Mr. Ito?
I've only been making them for a good purpose.
Oh, you literally hear a gasp. Not from Mab, but from literally everyone else in the room. Everyone else in the room. But she is stone-faced.
Just for coin and money.
She's like, ha 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 ha. One of those absurdly forced laughs that she has no idea really how to create herself. And for coin. So luckily, none of my court have fallen yet to any of your weapons. However, how do you feel about changing alliances and earning more coin? If that is what you treasure.
I'm just trying to make sure that I can keep a low profile, and my motivations, my motivation pretty much is just to kind of watch out for a few people and just make sure that the vamps in my area stay out of my way. Now, so just out of curiosity, the Tenderloin is a zone area in the city.
Yeah, it's like a neighborhood, district kind of thing, if you will.
Okay, so I will just say is it near or far away from where I've kind of based my operation?
I believe we established that if you're not in the middle of it, but you're on the perimeter, if I recall.
Okay. So technically, at this point in time, the war I'm not necessarily affected by directly.
No, you're pretty much in your neighborhood right now. The most direct thing that affects you is the Vamp Mafia war, or not war. It's not a war yet. It's a conflict. Disagreement. Conflict. Yes.
Right.
Well put.
Okay. So, yes, your royalship. I have not necessarily had to worry yet about where I fit in this conflict of yours. So I can be fine at this point if you're willing to pay me a little more for services rendered. I don't have any particular alliances to anybody else.
She kind of looks at you, cocks a head to one side, then the other. Like, I understand you, Mr. Ito. I truly do. We will pay you. You will not work for the mages. You will certainly not make anything out of cold iron. And I will do my best to keep your name out of any discussions, keep you in the shadows which you treasure so much, and make sure that you are well taken care of by my court. But we want the good weapons.
The good stuff.
Yes. Which you're known for. The exotics, the custom.
And of course, to be dealing with your conflict, yeah, got it. The wizards that you are disagreeing with.
Oh, wizards. There's some from Night who go with them. Silver works also. We'll make sure you have silver. That. And she plucks a piece off her dress and tosses it at you. And you catch a bauble which is like solid silver. It's probably like it almost looks like a small Christmas decoration, kind of like like a bulb type of thing, one of those oblong pear-shaped bulbs, but it's like has some little gems on the outside and it's pure silver.
Can I actually catch it, considering I'm, been just dismasked and I'm assuming I'm held down by thugs, courtiers.
Sure. Yeah, you tell me. Yeah, I'm not gonna have you roll or anything like that. But yeah, if you want to catch it, you can catch it.
I'm making I catch it best I can and, appreciate and make a contemplative look like, yes, I think I can probably work with this.
And as a benefit, I won't have any of my people rip you into little pieces right now. So that we've come to this agreement makes me happy. And when I'm happy, the room is happy. And everyone's yeah, so there's light applause flits throughout the room. Again, it's obvious that this is like in this court. Surely there have been occasions where someone like sneezed at the wrong time and they were immediately executed. That's the feel you get from everyone around you. It's like they better clap. They better fucking clap.
And agree.
And agree. And toady. And follow. And serve. Unquestionably. And it's like, you can see, all of you can kind of see from the looks in the eyes of the other actual courtiers. It's like you guys it's like a look of almost jealousy that you're able to get away with any insolence whatsoever. It's
short-lived jealousy.
Yes. Very much so. So yes.
Because we won't get away with it for long.
There is that. So the Mab goes, I brought refreshments. I invite you to partake. And immediately they like the stuff that was on the walls, or the tapestries and whatnot, it falls down, all of it, and exposes the actual artwork that's there for the public when they come through here every day. And she gestures to everything. They actually bring in like a buffet table with various and sundry weird and expensive and strange articles from all over the world. And she goes, please feel free to partake. I assure you, by eating any of this food, you will not be trapped in our realm or taken to Arcadia. That's not how we do business here in New Midian.
Is that really a thing?
I nod.
But do enjoy the artwork. They say, and this is one thing about you mortals that I love. The mortals that are considered the greatest artists in any generation, they're always the ones that are the closest to madness. So please enjoy this madness, as I do. Yes. Oh, bravo.
Yeah.
And with
So
that,
it's-
she
she
rises and
she dismisses us.
she rises. Everyone's dismissed to go about their quarterly duties. And the courtiers and other whatnot immediately move to like get food themselves, and there are like a dozen different people, look like young women, come help with the hem of the gown, and they start ripping it, and by the time they get to an actual length where she could walk, it kind of almost like smoke kind of drifts away from the rest of the dress, and suddenly she's in a actual mobile gown, and the stuff that they did rip away kind of just fades, and now she's kind of going around, from toady to toady, yes man to yes man, getting their adoration and adulation.
Scary.
That leaves you guys time to talk if you want and get some food, look around, or leave as you will. It's made quite obvious now that the security that brought you there has no intention of keeping you there. So do as you will at this point.
As I pick up a croissant.
Nice.
Doc, did what just happened there? I mean, I don't remember agreeing to any kind of a thing with her, but
Yeah, see, so when many large, beefy people pick you up off the street and bring you somewhere, and then you're held somewhat against your will, it is best to agree. I have nothing up on me that I could really do about it. So in this particular case, I was going to agree with whatever it was that she wanted done. And fortunately, it's turned out okay so far.
yeah, okay.
So I'm okay with silver-based things. She hasn't really specifically requested. I'm assuming that this is going to be some sort of boon I'm going to have to deal with. So, yeah. And I don't know how that. I'm not sure yet how that affects the things that the things that are currently going on, or what kind of mischief you all got into
Like,
while I was
Well,
sitting somewhere with a hood over my head.
it's funny that you get you're getting punished for us essentially giving her a +1 in her war. That's the part I don't get. So, as far as I'm concerned, she owes us one.
what deals do you have with the wizards?
What's that?
Talking to Ito, like,
Oh.
what deals do you currently have with the wizards?
So I've only done one deal, and that would have been, and I do not have the NPC list.
Yeah, I'll bring it up for you. Hold on.
Yes.
There you go.
So I've only done one thing with Julian, and that was a creation of a set of. Perhaps this would have been a poor choice to be doing, but he had commissioned, because I was not aware that I wasn't aware that this conflict was going on.
Yeah, it was actually Stan Kolhar, the immortal that you had to deal with.
Oh, that's right.
And then Julian kind of stepped out from the shadows and turned out to be the real buyer.
Yes, that's right.
You can phrase
Thank
it,
you.
just to refresh you in case.
Thank you. I did find my notes from that session. Yes. Right. So Julian made an appearance as I was getting and completing a deal with a different wizard for a a special revolver with cold iron bullets. Now I understand what this thing was for. Typically, I don't try to ask too many questions about what I'm getting commissioned for, but in this case, yeah. So he had purchased, and somehow Julian had gotten involved with sidearm I'd created for them that will shoot cold iron bullets. Interestingly enough, the iron taken from a temple in Ireland that I visited in past travels. So pretty much doubly bad.
Holy shit. That is top of the line shit you sell, I have to say.
Yeah. So,
Very interesting.
yeah.
I turn. I'm like, and I apologize for that. Turning to Eugene.
Oh, for what?
He said,
wiping the blood off his
facetiously.
face. Like, I ask you to forgive my outburst.
Yeah, don't sweat it, man. I know you're trying.
I just nod, Thank you. So where does that leave us?
Yeah, exactly. I don't like the idea that she. It seems as if we were brought in to bow down, and in the middle of all of that, this confusion and deal that went down with her in the dock is kind of like implicitly suggesting that the rest of us are going along with it. That's the part that I need confirmation if that's how you guys see it, because I haven't said anything. I'm not down with her. So
The fact that we're here and that we walk out alive will tell the wizards that we're with them.
gotcha. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I've seen how they make assumptions.
Sure.
Is that a faction is that a group that you do or do not have a conflict with, Eugene? Do you care? Is it getting in the way of something?
No, I just don't necessarily want to be bullied into siding up with somebody. So yeah.
Yeah, I think until we get. The only thing that I can think of is if I'm going to get a message note or something. Like technically, you are mostly free because I don't know. I think that we can work the angle of the deal that I technically accepted a potential commission. So, in a sense, I think that you're off the hook. I really bartered my own head on that one. So, while you're right, as we walk out of here, the wizards are going to assume that we're aligned with Mab. But we can probably slice that one kind of thin.
Okay.
While we're here, is there anything that we can get out of this?
Oh boy.
Yeah, does anyone like do an investigate? You definitely would have triggered that by now if you want to.
Yeah. I definitely want to find out. Well, since she said that nothing was used with the particular commission I had done, I would definitely be curious to find out, because this conflict is sort of like you'd mentioned, is kind of on the periphery of my area. So I would definitely be interested to understand any information that we can get about, or that we could get for where things stand, who's quote unquote winning, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
it would be good to know what they got out of that mage.
Interesting.
Right.
So there's a couple different things that we can do here. I think you've and I bring them up because I think you've actually triggered both of them. Both of you guys as a whole. We could definitely, someone can investigate a place of power. So I think Doc is trying to really kind of figure stuff out the most. Maybe you do figure someone out with Mab type of thing.
Or even hit the streets.
Or even hit the streets. We do that too. But yes, you have options here. If you want to do it like right here, it's probably investigate place of power or figure out Mab or someone else. Hit the streets. Yeah, I could even accept hit the streets here.
I mean,
because
with the Fae.
yeah, with the
No.
Fae, exactly. Yeah, as long as it's with the Fae, yes, you might have like a contact here that might have more insider information that you want.
It,
So
if I were to attempt to figure someone out, so like from a story perspective, this is where, is there anything unusual about who Mab is associating with? So as she's kind of making her ways through the court, um, is there a particular? So I would say yes, trying to figure, pardon me, figure someone out, and figuring who she may be lingering, speaking with, just to get a sense of, in this particular environment.
sure. All right. So definitely, yeah, you definitely are able to roll to figure out. So go ahead and roll with mind. You're gonna try to figure out Mab. And for you guys, since there are another 2 potential moves, and like I said, I do try to keep it to like one of these per thing per interaction. Like only one person gets to figure a person out, etc. If one of you guys wants to do investigate a place of power, other one wants to do hit the streets, or 2 hit the streets, both you hit the streets.
I'd
Think
like
about
to
that.
track. Yeah, I think I'd like to try and figure out what they've heard the mages are planning to do, if they know anything, since I've shot somebody's hand off and stolen their ring, and B, what's next on their agenda in their war, and I guess what is the definition of war for them?
Okay, so that's all covered by like a hit the streets move. If you happen to
Yeah.
know someone here. How about Adrian? What are you thinking? What was your interaction you'd like to take care of here?
I actually want to find out why they meet here.
Interesting. Okay, so that's investigate
Right.
place of power.
Yeah,
Right?
basically looking for does it have particular protections or power source or
Gotcha.
Because it's a mortal museum. Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, let's start with that. Let's start with the investigate place of power. So go ahead, Adrian, and roll with wild. S'il vous plaît.
So where did they catch me?
Let's see here. I wouldn't worry about that. So basically, when you look around, you see kind of what she told you. The Fae are not from here. They are literally from a different like dimension. As they live here longer, they get an idea of like who humans and other groups are, but they're still aliens for all intents and purposes. They don't understand all of our emotions or why we choose this or that in a given situation. They don't quite understand all that. They don't get it. So like kind of like she says, what this place is about is worshiping the madness in humans, the idea that maybe there's something about humans we can understand. It's just what happens. It's the ones who are in least touch with their reality that we have a chance of understanding from another reality. So let's put there. So Mark Wild, if you haven't already.
Okay, I do.
All right, and let's see. Let's do the figure someone out first, and then we'll hit the streets with Eugene. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So
I really don't want to talk to her, but I'll try to figure out.
no. You guys. Part of figuring someone out is have you observed them? Are you observing
okay.
what they're doing? Again, and just her interacting with their other people after she's interacted with you is more than enough to trigger this move.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll with mind, and you just did. And you got a 9. So let's see, 7 and 9. They hold 1 on you, and you on a hit you hold 2. So basically they get to ask you 1 question, and you can ask 2 of these questions. Why don't you do yours first?
Right.
So from that list,
they get to ask 1. Yes. Did you say
they will ask 1 of you soon? But first I'll have you ask yours.
Yes. So, how goes the war?
And which question is that though?
Oh, sorry. Exactly these questions. Right on.
Yep.
What is your character hoping to get from? So is this an in-character question or this is a game question?
This is it's an in-character question.
Okay.
You're asking. Oh, in the sense you actually have to ask her. No, this
Yeah.
is you've observed them. Now you're able to figure these things out, type of
Okay.
thing. So you don't actually. There doesn't have to be. There can be. I mean, for
Got
this
it.
type of thing. But generally speaking, is the fact that you've observed her and whatnot, seen her interactions, lets you ask these questions. You know,
So how can I get her to give me more information about uh how the conflict with the wizards is going?
she. You think that if an answer to that question is to learn more about the conflict, you or your fellows are going to have to engage in it. She'll, once you have a need to know, she's happy to let you need to know.
Okay. Got it.
All right. You have one more question.
Yes. What is your character's beef with? And your character is her. So what is Mab's beef with Julianne?
So, Julianne is the de facto head of the mages, the ones that are trying to get control of this Lee line in the Tenderloin. This bit of power, like power in the capital P sense. So basically, it's almost as if there was a chessboard, they would both be the king.
Okay.
So that is her interest in him.
So the beef technically is the age-old pursuit of power.
Yes,
Okay.
in a word, yes.
That's the doc trying to read too much into a situation. So yeah, keep it simple.
Excellent.
Silly.
All right. So
Thank you.
her question for you would be, how can I put your character in my debt? And you must answer honestly. So if she does this thing, then you will be in her debt. You'll owe her a debt.
If she asks for a commission, if she cashes in on the silver bauble that she threw to me and really wants me to make something, then I will be in her debt.
Okay, so in the sense that you're getting more business?
In the sense that I'm getting the business, but I'm also kind of obligated to create whatever it is for my personal reputation.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense.
Because that's the debt. I mean, yes, I get paid, but it's also kind of the reputation thing.
So just the idea that she would trust you with this thing kind of puts you in her debt in the sense that she's cashing in your reputation. Am I reading that right?
Yes, correct.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. All right. So let's go to hit the streets. Eugene, who do you so hitting the streets? You know somebody here. So
Yeah,
who is it that you know? That's a fae.
Haven't seen her in a really long time, but I recognize her at the other end of the buffet of the fae. And
I got that. The buffet of fae. That's good.
Somebody that I thought was once going to become a hunter in the Maktuyo clan, but she bowed out quickly. Now I realize she probably was never really, intending to join up. But so her name is Kuro, Kuro.
Kuro. And so she's a fae, I'm assuming?
Yep, she's a fae. And so
what's her thing? What would I put as her label if I had to put one down?
Her label?
Like a pixie vassal, neutral bar owner.
Oh, I see what you're saying. How about just troublemaker? I mean, she's
sure.
I personally, she's a suspected spy. That's what I think. That she came to spy on the Maktuyo clan.
I see. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
So anyway, and we happened to date, so it's been a long time. So I'm gonna go up and talk to Kiddo.
All right. Go ahead and roll with wild.
Okay.
You're hitting the streets.
This hunter really gets Eugene as a hunter really gets around.
Hey, ever
Yeah, he
since
does.
Tinder, man, it's been amazing. Let me tell you. Okay. I'm doing hit the streets with wild.
Yes, sir. All right. All right. So let's see. So name someone who you're going with. So we've already done that. On a hit, they're available and they have the steps. So so she has the information. On a 7 to 9, which you rolled, choose one. So either whoever you're going to is juggling their own problems, or what you need is more costly than anticipated.
I'm gonna say juggling their own problems.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm gonna say she's definitely.
She's in the court here. That's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. She's in the court, and there's a couple other attendants who are obviously keeping an eye on her. So
Gotcha. All right. So yeah, so you see her over at the buffet. She's picking up her own croissant. Maybe that's what you guys used to have for breakfast the day after. And some part of her still remembers that time. And damn it, but eating a soft, flaky, buttery croissant brings her back to those moments of sheer mortal ecstasy. Or maybe she just really likes croissants. We don't know.
Croissant.
We can't tell. But yeah, so she is kind of sampling her son. She sees you approaching, and
I hold out a pat. Since I see the croissant, I hold out a pat. Butter.
she almost rolls her eyes, but doesn't, and then just lets you set the pat of butter on her croissant. She's like,
those two geeks watching.
She's like, Eugene, I have to admit, I never thought I'd see you here. And she kind of gestures around with her free hand. I mean, even when it was open to mortals.
I didn't think I'd be here either, kiddo.
Oh, I hate it when you call me that.
Hey, what can I say? You are the Black Fairy, so.
She does laugh at that one. As she's laughing, she kind of, she's gesturing around. You being a hunter notice that there's like blood on the inside of her cuff. She's not wearing white like the rest. She's kind of, in more or less street clothes. She wasn't here, it seems, for most of your interaction with Queen Mab. Yeah, no one else would spot it. They have no reason to, but you see a bloodstain when you know a bloodstain when you see one.
Was that your handiwork with the mage there?
She's like, I don't do anything quite so base as rough up an unarmed man.
Let's see. Well, I don't know if you've heard, but I got myself into a spot of trouble, as they say. And I'm just wondering what you or the court or anybody else in your little group here might know of what's to come out of that.
So you're asking me what this war is all about? And what part you play in it?
No. Obviously, if they've heard what I've done and that we're here, right, they must be keeping tabs somehow. And if they're keeping tabs, then you must also know something about what they're organizing to do next. So what should I be on the lookout for?
She's like, she kind of steps towards you and puts her one hand on the around your neck to the back of it, like she used to way back when, in more intimate moments. And she kind of massages the back of your neck right there. She's like, honey, the move, we've already taken it. And she's like, she takes her one hand and goes into her other sleeve and brings out the ring that you stashed with the wolves.
What have you done?
Oh, it wasn't just me. It was a bunch of us. The wolves are going to be aligning with the wizards. They're actually looking to set you up and take you out. Even before the wizards got involved, but that was just a little extra icing on top of their cake. I saved your life, Hunter.
You did. You did. So, who are those two geeks over there, and why are they looking at you so intently?
They saw how I got the ring.
Oh,
And with that, she kind of gives you a little pat on the side of the face and turns away. And before you know it, she's over by Mab and presenting the ring to her.
easy come, easy go, I guess.
Wait, who
Both-
had? Oh, wait.
both
I'm
her
sorry.
and the ring.
Do other guys? Do the other guys watch her interaction? Or his interaction with the Fae girl?
Sure. I mean,
I'm just trying
I'm
to
wandering around.
follow where, I don't know if I would have noticed the subtlety of the ring. I just meant more from story. I missed that line.
Which line?
What happened with the ring? This is the ring that you had acquired.
Yeah, that's the ring that rolled away from his cloud of a hand.
Uh,
Yeah.
Nice. Got it.
And Adriana, instinctively senses the power in it and knows that's the real thing too. That's not like Fae glamour or anything like that. That's real McCoy there.
And somebody did grab it.
Oh, apparently they stole it back from the wolves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. So here's the full story, right? After we get out of there, I wanted to get rid of that ring because it is so powerful. So I met up with our old friends, Violet. Is it?
Yep, Violet.
The leader of the wolves, and she agreed to take it off my hands for safekeeping for now.
Uh-huh.
But I had no idea that she was in league with the mages, and so yeah, I thought I would just go back and get it when I needed it. And in the meantime, if they tried to come after me, I couldn't possibly give up the power. So,
Right. Got it.
but it turns out that was all for naught.
Yes.
Or was it?
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. So let's. Are you guys going to head out at this point? Or are you going to hang around and eat their croissants till they're gone? See if the shrimp tray is full, or
The shrimp tray.
Never trust a Fae shrimp tray.
Damn right.
That's right. Yeah, I think heading out is fine.
Yeah. I mean, what else to do now except go back and have another peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah, because and I guess as we're moving out, I will also fill in on what I had kind of learned and intuited that uh, I had missed the Captain Obvious note that the conflict is not necessarily over. I mean, the conflict being over just the serious quest for power, which is why the ring kind of piqued my curiosity. So, any object of power, anything to do with things is always interest, and I had kind of missed that subtlety. Being so entrenched in the mortal world, I don't necessarily participate in the large conflicts, so this one's pretty significant.
So, like, we're kind of already in the car, and the doc is still at the door, kind of looking back at that ring.
All right. Why don't you
Shakes
guys...
head and moves on.
All right. Well, I'll have you guys get in the car and let's take a break. We're halfway through. We'll make sure you guys are able to do what you need to do, etc.
Okay.
So I'll see you guys in 5-ish.
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent.
All right.
Go.
We are back. Excellent. All right. So last we left our intrepid adventurers. They were all in the car heading for the homestead. Or where were you headed? Since Eugene's driving.
Well, I was gonna head back to find out more information from Samantha.
Oh, that's interesting because she's already in the car with you right now.
Because I said peanut butter sandwich.
Maybe. Or does she ever leave you? You ever wonder about that?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was just the apartment or what. So
Who knows? But she's in the car. She's like on. If you have a normal car, she's like in the back, right behind you, so she can like hold onto the seat and look over at you.
okay.
And you guys, of course, see Samantha. Everyone can see and hear her.
And this is, sorry, sister, yes?
No, this is a ghost.
Yeah, she's a ghost.
She's like 9 years old, or was when she was deceased. And she generally hangs out by Eugene's apartments. She may have died around there. But she has an affinity, it seems, for Eugene. So yeah, she's like a little, normal little girl. She probably had like light colored hair, kind of a dainty look to her when she was live, and now she's obviously ghostish. This is, even though she's materialized, she's obviously a ghost. You've probably seen or heard one before. Odds are pretty darn good.
Just another thing that amazes me.
Cool. And she's like, Eugene, you don't go home.
Well, what did you see?
It's like they killed them all.
Killed all who?
All the wolves. There's not a pack anymore.
The Fae did that?
Yeah. Yeah, they killed them all. There's 10 of them. And they're done. They don't become ghosts,
Wow.
but they killed them.
What's required to become a ghost?
She like looks to Adrian and she's like, "Are you looking to try?"
Just looking to understand.
It's like
Do the werewolves lack?
they're not really human. And other things, but I don't really know you, do I? Stranger danger, right?
And shrug. I'm like, we've talked before.
Not about secrets. It's like, why do you seem to not care that there's 10 wolves that are not dead?
I'm not a wolf.
Hmm.
Shrug.
She really can't make an argument on that one.
That is a accurate reflection of reality.
Yeah. But yeah, she's like, you have to be human first of all. You have to suffer a unexpected end, and you have to have a reason to want to stay. Wolves might have 2 out of those 3, but you need them all. She says, you won't become a ghost. She seems kind of sad at that.
Like,
almost.
And I don't really notice that, and I'm like, good. I've been around long enough already.
It's like, she kind of looks to Doc, and like she just kind of looks past him. she doesn't really know the guy. He's kind of a non-person to her at the moment. He's more like all about Eugene. She's like, where are we gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
Out of character, were the wolves protecting your apartment block or your block?
They were trying to take that into their territory, actually.
Okay.
Hmm. I don't know if I knew that, but
There you go.
now I know.
We can go back to my place because I'm still pretty far out of this conflict in terms of space. If we need a like base to go anywhere, I'm kind of interested in this ring, but yeah, we can regroup and have some sandwiches.
Getting it back from Mab would be difficult.
Yes, something I'll keep my eye on, but I would agree that will be potentially an actor that comes into play. I don't know, but very interesting.
Cool. So you guys are heading to the docks. What do we call it? Lair? It's not a lair.
Yeah,
Workshop,
Sanctuary?
one of those.
workshop. Yeah, workshop is probably the best.
Excellent. Cool. Yeah. So you get there. Do you guys actually take the car up the elevator, or you kind of leave it outside?
Oh, I wouldn't leave this beauty on the streets in this neighborhood.
Mm.
Just saying. And thanks for the ride back, by the way. I gotta go. I gotta go get Eric to bring my car back here or something.
Sure thing. Yeah, we'll definitely pull in and hide the car. So as we're back in and maybe, just crashing around the place, looking for drinks or your nudie magazines or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, my popular science mags.
Your popular science mags, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what I meant to say. I think I think we need to talk about what's about to happen given the wolves' death there. I mean, once they no longer protect that territory, what does that mean?
And Samantha has disappeared, by the way. As soon as you guys pulled in, she's like, I don't like this place. And just disappears. She's gone.
She'll
Well,
be back.
Who
That
else
is-
would claim the territory?
What's that?
If not, who else would claim the territory if not the wolves?
Well, I mean, is it claimed by the Fae just because they killed them? Is that what we're assuming?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And where is this location in relation to the ley lines? So were the werewolves somehow involved with any territories of that in that area in the Tenderloin?
So I don't know. I mean,
So that your apartment is not near the Tenderloin. That much you know already.
Yeah,
But for more, we want to hit the streets for that kind of thing. That's a hit the streets kind of question.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure what to do at this point because there's no there's nothing to do but wait and see what happens. Is Map going to send us on a mission? Is the wolves' lack of control over the territory mean that my apartment's at risk? I'm not sure. So
Yeah, I would agree that we need to get information. I'm curious to know if there's some sort of power vacuum that's happening.
yeah.
Cool.
Before we go out looking for info. And I take maybe Ito aside. I'm like, I need you to set up a meeting with Julian again. And I am going to cash in a debt with you.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I
Do me a favor at moderate cost.
do me a solid.
Yeah, this is the
which
first
you can
time.
refuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's funny. I was looking back, and that was sticking out. It's on my character sheet as notes.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the first time we've cashed in debts between PCs. So let's, just for the sake of reading this over, let's read over the move. So cash in a debt. When you cash in a debt, remind your debtor why they owe you in order to make a PC do a favor of moderate cost, lend a hand to your efforts. So basically, if you need them to, if you're doing something and you're short, your die roll is short, like by one, you can have them lend you a hand to give you that +1 to get it over. Get in the way of someone else, or get in the way of another person and give them that minus to their roll. Answer a question honestly. Erase a debt they hold on someone. Give you a debt they hold on someone else. So this would, of course, come under do a favor at moderate cost.
So the reminder is, specifically, you owed me a debt because you knew something about my origin. I'm like, I've seen the way you look at me sometimes when I'm not paying attention, or you think I'm not paying attention. I know you know more than you let on. This Julian has something I need to break that which binds me.
Oh,
Now, and let's look at refuse to honor a debt also. So this is an option. Whether or not you want to do that, let's just put it out there.
yeah.
Refuse to honor a debt. When you refuse to honor a debt, roll with heart. On a hit, you weasel out of the current deal, but still owe a debt. On 7 and 9, you choose one. Owe them additional debt, lose faith with their faction, or mark corruption. On a miss, you can't avoid the noose. You've either got to honor the debt, period, or face the consequences they pick from the list, or force you to lose all debts owed to you. So this is kind of like how people have to pretty much do what you say unless they want to suffer really bad consequences.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so if there comes a time when you want to refuse a debt, this is what you do. But let me know what you want to do, or
Yeah.
actually just respond to him in character, and we'll take it from there. I'll let you know if you trigger this.
Like, oh, we just got ourselves out of MAB and potentially out of this conflict for a minute to kind of regroup, and you would like to talk to Julian.
Is
I
it
would
in
seek
this
him out
here?
myself, but he knows my motives wouldn't be honorable.
Julian knows your motives are not. Oh, okay.
We've been at odds before,
So do you,
and I've served him before.
I just want to ask one question. Are you somehow susceptible to cold iron?
No.
Okay.
Is that a vulnerability thing there?
Actually, I'm trying to think. Oh, like
No.
no.
No,
Yeah.
we already established what your
He just wants to know I'm not going to get shot.
Yeah, I'm just. I'm actually just reiterating because I mean, wizards will use whatever means necessary for power, and a gun's a
Like
good
it
thing.
does take a lot to permanently remove me.
Okay. Definitely. Okay, I will. I do have Julian's
Doesn't have to be
card.
immediate, but if he wins this fight, it doesn't bode well for me. If he wins the battle with the Fae.
Right, because he would be in a pretty good position of power. How that would affect things for you, I don't know. Okay, I will. I'm thinking that we want to do this sooner than later because I'm not sure how things will escalate post, if anything is to come of the werewolf territories, or if there's anything that we're going to get a commission, as Eugene says, from MAB. So let me, as they say, make a call, because Julian did give me some contact info that I don't necessarily have to go back to Stan for, so I can get a hold of him directly.
Thank you. And I have erased that debt.
Ching.
Excellent.
Done. And it just so happens, as part of my gear, is a smartphone. Not,
Good to have. Good to have.
you know, good to have a tech. So I pull out his card and flip it over and go to the number and make a call to Julian.
Cool. So now, normally, if I thought of this as like a hit the streets thing, I would require you to actually go out. And this game kind of tries to steer you away from making calls and
Okay.
hacking it, but you're actually gonna. The idea is, I'm looking at this as more of a persuade.
Yeah. Or set up a meeting too. A request to set up a meeting rather than resolve over the phone.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sure. So we can do it either way. We can. Why don't you get on the phone with them? We'll role play the thing and see what it triggers, if anything.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah. So, right. My goal being I'm trying to at least set up a meeting where we can introduce. No, sorry. I immediately forgot to just set up a meeting for Adrian to have a chat. Yes.
Tell me you want to talk to him about another weapon.
Got it. So, yeah. Give Julian a call.
All right. Yeah, he picks up. Like, oh, weaponsmith. I didn't expect to get a call from you this quickly. Are you looking for a commission? Because I have them for you. I figured you'd be behind. I know that even for my immortal friend, he had to wait 6 months to get on the docket.
Yes. Well, special circumstance, and I've had some capacity open up. Be willing to see if you were available for a meet, and we could potentially go over a commission.
All right. Yeah, you know what? This I think this does trigger actually persuade.
Okay.
You're persuading him with the promise of talking about guns or weapons, which he wants.
Yes.
So you have the leverage to try to persuade him. So why don't you go ahead and roll with heart, please?
Got it. Is this considered advanced or not advanced?
No, you're always not advanced until you advance it with advancement.
Got it.
It'll be you'll see what I'm talking about when you look at your stuff. Did you just roll? Did I miss it? Oh, persuade. There we go. All right. All right. So you got a 7. Let's see. On a 7 to 9, they modify the terms or demand a debt. I'm not going to go the debt way. He's like, let's see. Let's meet at my residence. Bring your plans with you. I'd be happy to look at any ideas you have in mind for my stockpile that I'm trying to form here.
That sounds like a plan. I will come up with some designs and meet you, say, in a couple hours.
Certainly. I'll be waiting. And
Excellent.
As soon as he clicks by, you get a text with the address.
Great. So I am not looking to create any sort of thing for a cold iron weapon, just as a thing.
I ask you only to keep him occupied. I will find my own entrance.
Yeah, I don't think it would be good for us to walk in together, judging by if the history is as you say it is.
While it would be possible, I think things would go less well for you.
Sounds good.
So, who is Julian to you again, Adrian?
So Julian
This is in character, yes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just want to get on the frame here.
Julian was a former master.
one of a number of them, or your last one, or
Um. Hold on, I gotta check.
Checking character lexicon.
Checking character sheet.
He knows of my nature and has used it against me when we've interacted in the past. My nature to obey those in power.
okay. Okay.
Nice. I'm basically running through some, depending on how, if we're on time, I'm going to go work on a couple designs. Basically looking to create what will look like a sword cane structure with kind of actually, is that in character or not?
What's that?
Because
Yeah,
machine tools, yeah, blades, yep. So yeah, I'm looking to, like, I'm working on some sketches for what would look like an ornate sword cane that perhaps a wizard of means and nature would, find interest. Um, excellent blade quality, and looking to, decorate with some,
Ancient Scottish ruins.
yeah. Not that I don't, yeah, I don't know if it's something that I would create, or if it would be something that I had. We had talked about this in the past, about creation of stuff on a whim is not just easy. So this is just sketches for something I don't actually have it, or
right. Yeah,
yeah,
this is totally in character for you just to produce these sketches, these ideas. The actual,
yeah,
if you're like, okay, I actually want to build this, then we start talking requirements. Like, okay, it's going to take a while. It's going to
yeah,
take blood from a blah blah blah. It's going to take wrought iron or whatever from the gate of a cemetery. That kind
yeah,
of thing. And you can, and just as a side note, you can see how that can even build story.
yep.
Having you have to
And
do these things or get these things.
the general concept about the cane is like around flame and fire. So can, it's a flame based kind of thing. That's what I'm enough. I need to have something with some characters so that I can, like,
Right, you have to have a
occupy
story to
time.
sell.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Excellent. Cool. All right.
Like,
Eugene, are you
don't.
taking part
Yeah,
in any of these plans?
yeah. And
Well,
I
I'm
ask
not.
him, like, Eugene, you don't need to get mixed up in this if you don't want to.
I mean, if you wanted to come along, because my, but it's my debt.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple of things I could do, but it all depends on whether or not you want it. I could provide cover fire if there's ample window space. I have yet to pull out my sniper rifle and put it to good use yet. So,
It,
and or get away. And lastly, something more passive and long term. I probably need to work out.
like, and like,
Seriously.
I think I'm gonna cash in it out with you. I'm like, I've been there for you with the nest. If you could, uh, Overwatch, you call it, that would be appreciated.
I am in the nest.
Wow. Cashing them all in.
Damn.
I have like 4 on Eugene.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, he
They're
can
like
he can have him get him some yogurt from the corner store and like that.
Yeah.
Not even really
It's
worry
in the
about
middle of
it.
the night in the Tenderloin district.
In the channel, exactly.
Yeah, right on.
He has to spray or they keep growing back.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny.
The tenderloin.
All
A
right.
known mab conspirator go to the tenderloin and be public. Yeah.
All right. So okay, cool. Let's see here. So let's do this. If it's cool with you guys, I'm gonna get Eugene. See if we can get Eugene in place if that works out. And then I'll kind of as we do that, I'll kind of alternate between you guys, work on the inside, if you will. That sound good?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. All right, Eugene. How are you gonna do this? What's your plan here to get in place, if you will?
I guess first of all, if there's information that either of these two already have about his location,
Yeah, you do have an address.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you like Google Streets it, you'll find it's like it's just like on the edge of like downtown. It's not, you wouldn't call it residential. However, there is this one nice sized house there that's just been there forever that nobody really questions.
Got it.
That's it.
Got it.
Yeah. A nice residential area, did you say?
No, it's like on the edge. It's basically like it's in the residential area, just barely out of the downtown. So it still has that kind of, again, it's like you're not quite out of downtown, so it still has that downtown feel, but but it is a residential area that it's becoming, and it's just right on the edge. So it's a good sized house. It looks like well to do, but nothing that anybody really discusses. It's like when the neighborhood people just don't see anybody coming or going, it seems, probably, and whatever.
So typically, if I'm going to go into this mode, it would be a long setup and, timing and position. I guess it depends on how familiar I am with that house and whether or not I know his habits. I'm guessing not at all, or I might know it from the outside.
Gotcha. So, okay.
So, one thing that I'm wondering about is
do you want to investigate a place of power? We can call it that if you're actually going to go there and scope her out.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
Roll with power, and remember to mark that also. If you guys remember you guys to keep marking your factions as you roll faction moves.
Okay, so
mark power and roll with power.
Power, and it's hit the streets.
Nope, it's investigate a place of power.
Oh, sorry.
It's the same roll. That's fine. All right, but you succeed with an 11 on 10 plus. You can ask the MC one. So basically, okay, on a hit. Let's see. On a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. On a 10 plus, you can ask the MC one question about the schemes and politics of the faction in question having to do with that place of power. So what you see when you look at it, you kind of scope it over. It wants to be a house, a normal looking house that, again, nobody really questions. Nobody really sees anybody coming and going, so they don't really care or deal with anything. The grass is always cut. Things are taken care of. There's no reason for anybody to interact with anyone there if they aren't willing to come out, that type of thing. But this really is a place of power. You can kind of going past it as you probably would as you're doing this. This is the first time you've come in contact with wizards, and you can kind of see through part of the kind of magical look that they're trying to put on here. It's like the field around here wants you to see it as this normal little place and not notice the oddities like the carved runes in the stone out front that's like the corner of the wrought iron fence. It's like, oh, it's just a fence, oh no, but for someone who's be able to look closer, you actually see the runes, and that kind of thing. And so again, you're kind of able to push past that to see that this really is a place of power. Wizards do things here, and they like this anonymity that their magic has afforded them here. So what is your question about the faction and having to do with this place of power? The schemes and politics of the faction in question.
Yeah, the schemes and politics. Boy, that's way more meta than I wanted. I'm simply looking for the right place to be able to shoot with cover fire if need be. So
I'll say you found that. That's with this role and whatnot. This definitely you in your looking at it. There is the second floor does have windows. What do you call it? Right now, the shades are half drawn, and you do see people going by, at least one,
okay,
maybe more. It's hard to kind of tell without like looking like you're looking.
okay,
But yeah, there's a window, and if you kind of like look overhead and kind of trace, that field of view from that window, you can definitely get an idea of where you might want to set up.
okay.
So you still have a question coming though, if you want it. You don't have to have it, but if you want to know something about the politics or schemes of the faction at this place, now's a good time to ask.
Yeah, I guess who would be number 2 to fill sorry, what's his name again?
Julian.
Julian. Who would fill Julian's shoes if anything were to happen to Julian?
No, good question. You get the distinct sensation that with as you kind of take a look closer, you can see there's different like styles of runes that are carved into various things here, into the wrought iron and whatnot. You get an idea that there would be there is no answer to that. There would be a power struggle. There would be a war within the faction potentially, before someone could claim, leadership of the group, if you will.
Okay.
Cool. So, tell me how you want to kind of get in place. We'll probably do one more we'll probably trigger one more move for you, and then we'll get to these guys.
Well, of course, I need good cover. I need easy escape.
Okay.
I need
So like,
partner.
yeah, it's like one of a couple ways to do that. You could do the hit the streets like we originally tried with your now dead former fling, and see if you can get into their place. Or two, we can have you do like distract or something to get basically get into like on somebody's rooftop type of thing.
Yeah, I think distract is probably. I mean, by
Or a
name
trick,
it
yeah.
sounds more of a.
Okay, so that's how you would get like just you want to basically get on someone's rooftop basically without them noticing.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead and roll with mind, please.
Roll with mine. Mislead, distract, or trick. Advance, no.
Nice. All right. Pick 2 from that list.
And where is that list? That's the part I haven't found yet.
Yep. I'm pinging it.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. When you try to mislead us. Okay. You create an opportunity. You expose a weakness or flaw. You confuse them for some time. Now, this has to do with being able to. So I would say somewhere, I would say confuse them for some time is what allows me to stay up there unhindered, basically. Like, nobody's going to accidentally discover me.
Sure. Let's say that's cool.
And create an opportunity. I would say the other thing might be the opportunity is I didn't know it, but the inhabitant of his house is the guy who's been bugging my sister from a cult.
Oh no, shit! It's pastor.
Well, maybe not the pastor, but at least one of his.
One of his flock, right?
Yeah. So now I know where he lives.
Oh, cool! Very cool, man. That's awesome. And again, I just want to OOC point out is just by doing this distract move, Aaron has now created even more story. So it's very awesome.
Cha-ching.
Cool.
And now when he comes back and he's right across the street from the guy, he's just shot a few bullets through his window. I'm sure that won't cause any trouble either.
No suspicion. Just a day in the hood.
It came from over there.
And I did look. You do mark faction when you cash in a debt or honor a debt.
Yes.
But all of us already have wild and mortality marks. So
I don't have mortality marked.
you would have marked wild because
Oh,
you
you're
honored
right.
that with me.
With you, yeah.
Gotcha.
Wild-
Thank you for pointing that out.
wild
I appreciate
beast
it.
you.
No problem.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Let's see. No, before we continue, a couple things for Eugene. One, did you get my message the other day? Did you? I could swear you got an advance already. You just never
I
picked
did,
it.
but I haven't used it. The thing that I am interested in, I don't know if it's possible or not, but it's one of those moves from another faction or moves from another
Okay.
thing.
Okay. Well, while we talk about that, unless you intend on using it tonight, while we talk about that offline.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I probably won't.
Okay. Okay. If you do, just we'll bring it up and we'll take it. All right.
Okay.
So don't let that get in your way. Is what I'm saying. The
Okay.
second thing is we've never seen this awesome weapon of yours before, and it's like it is one of your moves. So I'd really like to have you describe it.
Sure. Okay. A second. Let me go find that thing. So, yeah, this is my one and only high-powered sniper rifle. It is currently silenced, and it can do some incredible damage over a very far distance. And it's really good at taking out anything that's unholy. So,
Oh,
yeah.
it's like
It's originally all the parts that you would call the actual weapon, the trigger, the pin, whatnot. I'm not really a gun person, but all that stuff, all of that was hammered out of a former chalice from a different temple over in
Oh, that's so cool.
the Middle East or something like that. So
Very nice.
cool. I have an appreciation for said things.
all right.
Awesome. All right, let's get to Adrian and Doc. What are you guys up to? Who wants to go in first?
So
I know I need to find a way in, but I was going to do that after Doc engages with
Okay.
Julian.
All right, so Doc,
And-
let's have you pop in then.
So there's the other cool thing that would be fun to try, but I don't know what it costs me, but it doesn't matter because it should be done anyway, is my class move of best laid plans.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I don't think it actually costs you anything.
It costs a roll.
Yes.
So let's see what we got here.
That's a good move. I like that.
Yeah. Yes, let's I'm just gonna bring that up for everybody real quick. Let's see. Here we are.
Because it's not a run and gun situation. We can think about things a little bit first.
Exactly. All right. So best laid plans. I'm going to read that off for you guys, so everybody has an idea. Which it's an incredible veteran move. In fact, it's, in my opinion, it's even better than old friends, old favors type of thing. So best laid plans. When you work out a plan with someone, roll with mind. Pardon me. On 10 plus hold 3 and a 7 to 9 hold 2, you can spend your hold 1 for 1 regardless of distance with the plan while the plan is being carried out. 2. Add +1 to someone's roll. Choose after rolling. So this is a saved type of roll. Dismiss all harm someone suffers from a single attack, or ensure your people have the exact gear they need on hand. On a miss, you hold 1, but the plan falls apart at the worst possible moment. No pressure.
No pressure. And will the button, the die roll next to the description incorporate the mind stat as well?
If you have mind selected for it, let me take a look. I'm assuming
I do.
Then it should do it. It should do the trick.
All right, here's hoping for the best.
9.
Hey.
All right, so you hold 2, is it? I already closed
Yes.
this. Okay.
Hold 2.
Hold 2. All right. Let's take a look. Yep. All right. So hold 2, and you can do any of those things at any time, regardless of distance. So this is all. So what that basically represents is you had this plan, and when people stick to it,
Mm.
you basically, this is getting rid of contingencies that go wrong.
Yeah, you're going to
Right.
distract
Wild
him
cards.
while get in, and
Yes. And if you're scaling the thing and
Eugene
you need a piece of
provides
gear.
sniper cover, and
Yep.
not that that'll do much against the mage, but whatever.
Yeah. Shoots
It'll,
through the
it'll
wall.
distract him. He's bound to have guards.
Yes. Cool.
Excellent. So, you are you basically just going to go up to the front door and knock, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some strange protocol, like that's all I did when I went to do this with Stan. I didn't have to do any specialized protocol to get through any warding or anything like that. So, yeah, basically, and so as we are going separately, just kind of pile into my truck and head out to the address
Yep.
in.
Yep, we're already to the point where you're at the door if you want to be.
Great. So, yep. Then hit the doorbell and wait for an intro.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay.
Do you? I don't think that I don't think you go through like all the like investigate place of power and all these sorts of different things because we're kind of in the midst of this action. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, you can certainly you're about to be in a place where you can certainly investigate a place of power as you get in and take a look around, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's still on the table. You can definitely trigger that if that's what you want. After you get in here.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
We'll see
All
what
right.
happens.
Okay. So you get in. Basically the door opens, and Julian is the one answering the door. He's wearing a suit, suit over, sports jacket, whatever, overcoat. And he has a big smile on his face when he sees you. He's weapon maker. Come on in. Enter my sanctum. Well, one of them.
Good to know. Good evening.
Good
And I'm
evening.
carrying one of those nice like map case things.
Yeah,
that-
the big leather bound things, the
yeah.
cups at the end, that type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And yep, follow him into his house, and I'm assuming it is immaculate and ornate and interesting.
The entryway is as you guys get into the house, you see it. It's more looks like you've gone from like present day modern to like busy wizard. So now the place, you see like there's the fireplace. It's rather dark. There's not a real eye for decor here. The furniture is like it's antique, but it's worn. You see kind of books, various books on magic and stuff. There's sigils here and there, definitely on the fireplace. And as you go, he's like, he points to the stairway up. He's like, "Why don't you come upstairs?" And he's like, he points over to this direction, and someone comes out of the kitchen towards you, and it's Julian, wearing a waiter's outfit. Basically, he's wearing like the thing wrapped around his waist. It's not a smock. It's a apron. Thank you, apron. That kind of thing. White shirt. He's like, we'll be taking it upstairs.
Well, who answered the door? Did Julian answer the door, or
Yeah,
some?
it's Julian and Julian.
What? There's two of them?
There's two Julians.
There are two people who look like Julian. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Good job, wizard.
You guys go upstairs. The second Julian comes from behind with a tray. He's holding what looks to be what do you call it? Like you ever see those port wine decanters with the big base and the skinny neck so it can filter out the stems and stuff, and several glasses, 4 of them to be exact.
4 of them.
4 glasses. You
Look
guys...
for the white fluffy cat, dude.
Yeah, so you guys get upstairs, and there's another 2 Julians up there. One is kind of dusting a bit, and another is kind of sitting at a piano, finishing a song or turns around on the thing, and he's dressed almost exactly like the other one, Julian, except this one has like a white suit on with the coattails, that kind of thing. He's like, just on time. You are so prompt. And he gestures to the guy in the white, gestures to the guy with the apron. He's like, just place it right there on the table. We'll be sampling as we take a look at these drawings. Like, of course. I got the good stuff for tonight also, gentlemen. This is a vintage 1926, straight from the Quattro Vineyard in Porto. And with that, he kind of starts decanting the thing into the glasses and has a seat himself. So there's 1, 2, 3 Julians and
a doc.
You and a doc.
Wow. So I, even though I've seen and been around magic and mystery, this is definitely a new one. So unfortunately, I cannot necessarily wipe and control the surprise on my face to seeing triplet. Considering, I mean, I know it's not normal, but it could be actual brothers or something else.
Yeah,
so
6 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So, yes, I start, pulling the container off my back, open it up, and start spreading the drawings out on the. I'm assuming there's a table or some sort of
Yes,
nice.
there's space on the table beside the port decanter and the glasses.
Yeah.
Also, Eugene, the guy in white is in your view. There's enough drapery hanging down where you can't quite see the others, but definitely the white dress guy is in your view.
Okay. And what are the other 2 colors? Or I haven't seen them at all.
You haven't seen them yet. You see a guy in white that's absolutely Julian.
Gotcha.
So yeah, open the drawings out and put on, put the weights at the corners, and so who should I be addressing when discussing? Is there a Julian Prime, or just shall I address you all at the same time?
You see, they all kind of it's like it's unnerving how they all have the exact same mannerism, like the same. They do the same ha 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 ha, like literally the same ha 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 at the same time, and they kind of lean in towards each other with their inside joke that they're obviously playing on you. And they all at the same time you can address the room, they say in monotone and
Oh God.
In unison?
In unison, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Monotone is not the word I was looking for.
You need some reverb on your mic there when you say that.
Yeah. I'll get the voice changer back.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll leave it there. Adrian, what are you doing?
I am looking for a way in.
Cool.
I don't know if that's an investigate or open my unleash. Let it out. Sorry, let it out. Basically, I know the places. I know the place is warded because it's a wizard sanctum.
That's
and I'm looking to find and subvert those.
Okay. All right. Let's do a let it out just to change things up a little bit. I think this is a good idea for you to use your. I mean, we've already established you have like a golem vision, if you will.
Before,
right? And you're able to sense and see them.
I think that's what I did for Lagrange's.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Sort of focus and get a look.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll with Spirit.
Let it out.
All right. 8. Cool.
I'm gonna choose one and mark corruption, and for that I take damage.
Yes, you take 1 harm.
And that harm is specifically
armor piercing.
I'll say,
I see what you're saying.
Burned by wards.
Sure.
Ow.
Because I can't actually, and I take damage because I can't take corruption as a valid stat. I have a separate stat.
And now this takes you up above the This is the second harm you've taken, right? The first harm was the one you took
Right.
resisting your
This is
instinct.
previous.
Okay.
So I think for this one, I think maybe take definite hold of something vulnerable or exposed.
Cool.
We will say that, maybe he, didn't necessarily put a ward on the house next door, and I'm able to, leap from it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like climb up the side of it and then just like leap over, the quote unquote magic fence.
Yeah. Oh my god, that is so Frankenstein's monster. I can totally
Yeah.
envision that in my head.
Yeah, because I don't imagine I land exactly right, but I
But
get up.
ballerina, you are not, sir.
Correct. I'm not a ballerina.
So yeah, so you're gonna basically land on like on the rooftop of his actual house.
Yeah, like of like one of the first floor, like the back porch or something to
Oh,
that
I see.
effect.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that works. All
And
right.
then I guess I'm gonna try and sneak in.
All right. I'll okay. Let's roll a distract, and then we'll get you. We'll see what happens here.
Sleeve distractor trick.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do that.
Can you?
Maybe. You never know.
You never know. That's a part of the fun. We play to find out here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Apparently today it's a yes.
Apparently today it's a yes.
Um,
All right.
let's see.
Pick 3.
I pick 3. Ooh. I want to avoid further entanglement.
Cool.
I want to expose a weakness or flaw.
Okay.
Maybe it's an area where the Julians don't travel.
Gotcha.
Like a storeroom or something. And I can't figure out how to confuse them for some time, so I'm gonna create an opportunity.
Okay.
And I think that opportunity is this. If I can dictate it, is the room is adjacent to the one that they're in.
Perfect. Absolutely. So I'll say for the weakness or flaw, let's make it that once you're inside, there's a way to disarm those runes. That you've seen used before. It's like I don't want to say it's like a light switch because it's not, but it's like the mage's version of this. Like you see several glyphs on, and if you press your finger to this one and move it over to this glyph, suddenly it lets
Like a
the power down. Yeah, it's almost like a combination. So I'll say you've seen this before, and there's a way to activate or deactivate the wards that would technically keep you in. Even I mean, they're not a one way street. Their wards in this case are basically you cannot cross type of thing. So I'll give you that option.
Excellent.
Perfect. All right, so you're in the room. Do you actually do the disarm, or are you just going to keep that in?
Yeah, I will do the disarm.
Okay, so yeah, it's like sigils of like a lightning looking thing, a Cthulhu looking thing. You have to reverse them, and then boom, then suddenly the kind of the glow on them both go down, and you can just as easily turn it on, which is the reason this panel, if you will, exists.
Okay. It's the alarm junction box.
the mystical alarm junction box. Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, you're next door. You're hearing, kind of. Well, actually, why don't you tell me what he hears, Doc?
Oh, right. Yes. Well, very good, Julian. I will just speak to the group. Yeah. So, one thing that I wanted to share with you was, in concept here, is I thought something a bit more stately would be an interesting dragon sword cane that would be of a particular fiery nature. So in concept, it would be something you could carry with you and, appropriately adorn for someone in your stature and giving you some abilities for, drawing the weapon and being able to use it as a sword, great quality, great construction, and also to be able to engage a flame effect when you so chose to, you know, turn it on, for lack of a better word. Engage the flame effect.
Ooh, it's like he's like the dark colored the dark clothed one. Julian stands up. Oh, and he he goes over there. The what you call it, the fireplace that you have. It looks like it feeds through the whole building, so you like have a flue coming down at a fireplace here. He kind of grabs like the poker from it. He's like, he kind of twirls it around in his hand, and he kind of walks around the room as if he's like imagining holding this creation of yours. Eugene, you actually see another Julian go into view briefly. You get a full frontal as he kind of does a lap. He's wearing dark clothing. It's absolutely Julian. As much as the other guy is Julian, this is Julian. So you kind of see him go into view. He gives you a full frontal, and he turns around. He does a lap back to where he was.
Full frontal, as in I see you, or just
No, like his
coincidentally.
Like, so basically he's like doing a turn that at one point you get like direct on look at him before he turns back. But yeah, so he kind of twirls around, he puts it down back in the fireplace. He's like, I like the sound of that. And this is, you really do know how to appeal to a wizard's ego. This is something certainly that my people would enjoy carrying around.
Wait, what did you say, Steve?
I think that's where I want to pop in.
Oh,
he's literally right on the other side of the fireplace from me, or that's what I hear.
Uh-huh.
Especially when he's putting the poker down. Because I assume you said the fireplace is sort of in the center of the house.
Yeah.
So they share flues. So I can hear that.
Absolutely, absolutely, you can.
Oh, I'm so dead.
So that's I think when I'm going to come through the fireplace.
Yeah, the white dress Julian is the first to react with shock. He's like, "Huh?" And then the other two.
I have no idea.
turn.
There's a half dozen Julians. I've just heard the voice in different spots. So we'll see how distracted I am once I
see three of them.
Through.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you see the one in white is suddenly shocked.
So I don't think Doc has seen this. When I say I come through the fireplace, I mean like I smashed.
Oh, you smashed
the
through
other
the
side of the room.
Oh, in like
damn,
like
total Kool-Aid man.
Kool-Aid.
Oh,
man.
so I didn't realize that's what you're doing.
Oh
Okay.
man, this is Well, thank you because I can at least react to it.
Yeah, you can react honestly.
Motherfuck!
Absolutely be like,
So I do have to roll because I can get seriously harmed, I think, during this.
Yeah, let's see here.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, Terry, I'll read it for Mark's.
When you smash through the scenery to get at something you want, roll with blood. On a 10+, you smash or move through obstacles and get what you want. On a 7 to 9, you smash or move the scenery and get what you want, but you are disoriented and follow-up actions. You leave something behind or take something with you. Your choice. On a miss, you crash through to your goal, but you're disoriented and off balance. You suffer 1 harm AP and you're vulnerable to reprisal and attacks. Not Kool-Aid man.
Wow. All right, I did not get that's what you're doing, but yeah, absolutely, let's do this.
Well, yeah, I said I was coming through the fireplace.
I thought you said
crawling through the fire.
No, I thought you said you're popping in the room. I'm like, turning the corner in the hallway.
No.
This is coming with
the vessel is not. This one is not subtle.
That is fair. That is fair. All right.
Now, if seizing an opportune moment was part of the plan, I would, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. +1.
I see. So what was that? What was it again, Steve?
If seizing an opportune moment was part of the plan.
Yes. So the
I see.
Yeah. So
I can best laid plans.
I can see that perhaps in shock and awe of this, I can see that this might not have exactly what I had predicted, but it's a really damn good distraction. So I will execute one of my holds and give him a +1, which will take him to a 10.
Yep. And Mark, you don't even have to even work it into the scene. You can just this is all retroactive. This is how you planned it.
Oh, this is the way it was supposed to go down. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
so this in effect this makes it so your plan is what made this succeed because this is how it's supposed to go. Your hold
Right.
reflects how it was supposed to go. So yeah, okay. So on a 10 plus, you smash
Now,
through
however,
obstacles and get what you want.
I come up right behind, I guess, whatever dark suited Julian, and
Yep.
now I'm like looking past him at the rest.
Yep. So you see the other two, the one in the with the apron and the one in the white, and everybody is quite shocked.
To say the least.
So you have the drop on them. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I'm
And
going to.
and Eugene, of course, you see like brick and mortar erupt into the
Explode.
room. The one guy in white actually holds up a hand. Probably you see like a good hit to one of his arms. As it chunk hits him and flies over. Maybe even breaks the glass that you're looking through the scope at.
I mean, my initial reaction was still what I would do, but after that, I'm going to have to be more concerned.
Gotcha.
Which
Well, I
was
mean,
to, as I heard the poker turn down and his voice get a little bit distant as if he was turning away, was to grab him from behind and just slash a lock of his hair off.
ooh, and yeah, you can easily do that.
But now I'm presented with the fact that there's like 5 or 6 of them in the room. So
there's I think there's 3, right? Yeah, we said
Yep.
3.
okay,
Only 3.
Still,
Only 3.
that's more than one though. That's more than the one
that
you're
is more
expecting.
than one.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
after that point, I'm going to see if I can figure out which one is which.
Gotcha. So let's see. So let's take a look at the scene. So everything's smashed. You basically smash through and just like out of the movies, as the final movement of you breaking through the wall and reaching through is putting an arm around him and slicing off the lock of his hair as you have him in a very ironclad grip. And you're kind of looking around. There's dust in this area everywhere. It's the other two Julians aren't doing jack shit, but like protecting themselves and then trying to see past their defenses. Their arms to see what the hell's just happened. And I don't know what the doc's doing. Is he trying to protect his port? He's like, oh, hey,
yeah.
Or just hiding with the rest of them.
Yeah, no, I'm getting, even though of course I know this is the plan, I'm still, playing the part and making sure that I'm getting the hell out of Dodge, like ducking away. So it would be away from all of the debris and cruft. So I'm not going to get pummeled as bad because I'm aware of what probably is happening, but I'm going to try to play and get out of the line of fire.
Yeah, you won't you won't be taking any harm for this, not to worry. You're good. All right. Yeah, so if you guys are you planning on doing anything, or otherwise the Julians are going to at least say something at this point? What do you
how
do?
I figure it out. Well, my thought was, I'm holding the one.
Mhm.
Is I'm going to crush the locket he gave me, the Lee line detecting locket,
Mhm.
and see if with my senses for magic, if I can figure out like where that power is drawn to, or
Okay, sure. Let's
there's a
call
connection.
that. Yeah, let's call that an unleash again.
Okay.
I think that makes it because you're extending your letter. I'm sorry, I'm trapped between 2 different games. Yes, let it out.
Been there, done that.
Yes, you are from what you describe. You're definitely trying to extend your senses and whatnot.
And I'm also narratively taking off that locket because it's going to be gone.
Gotcha.
Which I thought I wrote down somewhere.
Even better if
so
you're ahead of
let it
yourself. Yep. Roll with spirit.
Spirit. Which I thought I clicked on, but yeah, I did. It's 9.
Oh, that's the tear it down.
Oh, it is. Thought I clicked on it, but maybe not.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Jesus.
There it is.
Man, Adrian is just taking no
You are just
prisoners.
killing the roll.
Ignore corruption and choose one other from this. So you got to hit,
On
you
a hit,
choose one.
choose one and mark corruption as an option. Oh, so on a 10 plus, ignore the corruption or choose another from this list.
Yep. In your case, take damage instead of corruption first.
Right.
I would say you definitely need to, if you to do what you want to do, you'd have
Yeah,
to
I
definitely
definitely
extend your
need to-
senses.
Either extend my senses or take definite hold of something. I don't know.
I would say more of the senses. That's really what
Okay.
the angle you were going for with this.
So I'm gonna take the harm.
Ooh.
And I will say burned hand. Actually, let's make it more interesting.
So are you taking 2 from the list or what?
No, I'm.
Because you got the 10 plus, so you don't have to take corruption.
You automatically choose one, right?
Yes. So ignore the corruption or choose another.
Let's ignore the corruption for the moment.
Okay, so yeah, don't worry about that
I have a
damage.
feeling I'm about to get damaged. So after all, they are wizards.
Yeah. So so you as you kind of you crush the thing, and it's kind of pulled towards that Leline power in this case because you kind of released its energy. It's kind of, if you can imagine it, kind of like a like bees swarming, that kind of look, where like, they kind of, you ever see a bee go to where the queen is and suddenly they're covering this thing. Well, this kind of breaks apart and everyone can kind of see the dust coming out of his hands, but Adrian, you're the one who actually sees like this bee effect of like green bees, if you will, and they basically try to wrap around all 3 of the individuals. Because you rolled so well, I'm gonna say that you've seen this before. These are probably homunculuses. All of them.
All of them.
Yep. They're basically, and here's where you lucked out. It uses hair from the original to create the others. So you actually do have your hair for your deck.
And it would be very likely that I knew of other creations.
Right.
Since
So
that's what all of the original wizards dabbled in.
Yep, and these are temporary creations. They aren't made to live long. In fact, they might just be in service tonight, for all you know. But definitely, Julian is not here.
Okay.
This is not one of these. This is not one of these guys.
Then my goal will be to leave this place.
Awesome.
Wow. Doing the Kool-Aid, and I'm just gonna jante
Well,
back.
it's gonna be like pushing this one, down, and then trying to, go back through the hole, the fireplace.
Well, here's the interesting thing, and again another thing about the homunculus. So as you kind of make the move where like you figure you're gonna have to do something to these guys to get away, they kind of just back away. They're giving you space. They don't want to be hurt. And again, this is just being a vessel yourself. Right. They don't have much time.
They're not programmed for defense.
Well, they're not programmed for defense, and they don't have much time. They know they have like another 12 hours to live. Why risk it getting hurt and murdered instead of,
so
saying fuck it.
My leaving that way is more going to be to, I guess, give narrative cover to the doc, to show that I'm not associated and, and I got what I wanted type thing.
Gotcha. All right, so Doc, you're going to back out at this point, or you're going to kind of stay there?
Well, I grab my drawing.
You kind of get the wink from Adrian at this point.
Yeah, I'm like,
kind of, yeah.
What the hell? So yeah, I'm gonna grab my drawing. Like, I don't even, in an internal dialogue moment, my thinking is like, holy crap, I don't even know what. I have no frame of reference on homunculi.
Right.
I mean,
And
there's no.
this is an Adrian thing, but yeah, so you wouldn't have quite idea what's going on here.
Yeah. So if he's like starting to kind of, situation is kind of thing, dust is settled, he's done the thing and kind of given a nod of like, the nod of I'm done, and starts to back away towards a door or towards an exit, I'm like, holy shit, and I grab my drawings and I grab my case and I start sidestepping my way out.
Yeah.
And
The Julians are all like, "Oh, please, Mr. Ito, don't take this badly. We definitely want to do business with you in the future. We can't. We need your weapons. This won't happen again. This is a horrible happenstance."
Horrible happenstance.
I'm just thinking like, great, we will set up another meet, and I'm trying to make my way to the door. Not necessarily trying to go by Adrian, because not to say that I'm like,
Oh no, yeah, but I go in a different direction anyways from you.
oh yeah, okay, got it, because you're going back to the front. Yeah, I'm making my way to the door to try to get to the downstairs area.
Yeah, you're in no way impeded.
Yeah.
Call a bitch.
Call. You're awesome. Thanks. Yeah, I'm getting the hell out.
Nice. All right. We'll cut it there. Good job.
I wish there's like, I feel bad for Eugene, like seeing all the stuff. Like, I'm surprised you haven't taken the shot after like.
I think as soon as he saw someone casting, he would have taken a shot. But
the minute I saw something that looked threatening, I would have. But
something wizardy.
Well, the true mark of a sniper is knowing when not to take the shot.
Yeah,
true.
Good point.
True.
I shouldn't judge how quote unquote hot-headed he would be. Just to spray and pray.
Shooting more.
Yeah. You're supposed to provide overwatch. No. Yeah.
Covering fire.
Covering fire. Awesome. All right, so let's that's an awesome session. I think we learned a lot. We definitely got some drama moving in a bunch of different ways. Again, kind of one of the things I wanted to bring up to you guys is, so one of my moves, again, as you well know, I don't roll dice, but I do still have moves, things that I make happen. One of them in particular is like reveal deals done in the shadows or things like that. So like basically the idea that, oh yeah, so you're involved in this thing with the Fae, and the wolves were going to take this, possibly getting involved with the wizards on the other side that we dealt with. So this is all stuff behind the scenes that I'm not bothering to tell you, but you're seeing the outcome of. So again, don't think this is kind of it's more or less in my playbook, and I'm kind of seeing like what you've created and what's been put into motion, and I'm just kind of in my brain as we're kind of going through this, I'm kind of thinking, okay, so what would happen given this pressure and this pressure and this conflict and that conflict, and what would happen? So in the background, these things are happening without your knowledge, but you guys get to see the outcomes or how things are affected by them. So again, I don't want you guys to think I'm leaving you out of the story. I'm just making the story happen that you've brought into play already behind the scenes. Yep. So you guys, whether you know it or not, you guys are creating this. So that's very cool.
Say, on an MC side, are you using any of their like front, whatever mechanics?
I've been trying to, so there are threat moves is another thing I can do. So each faction has their own moves. I've been using some of them, like the wild, do something unexpected or strange when interacting or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. So I really have to get another cheat sheet for them to actually be more true to their moves. But you're going to see more of that in the future. Yes. So yes, there are, to answer Steve your question. Yes, there are. Whereas there are faction moves, I've been using more mime moves, but I do want to get more into specifically saying, oh, like Knight, for example, they seize upon. One of their moves is seize upon vulnerable assets. Mm-hmm. So I'll reveal to you maybe somebody from Knight maybe is going to look at taking control of that territory the wolves just gave up. It's vulnerable. Mm-hmm. That'd be a faction move that I would be making.
Got it.
So just to kind of feel you guys, but you guys are awesome, and whether whether or not you know it, you're creating this story, with all the stuff you've been doing. So awesome job.
Cool.
So let's quick do session end moves, since we're closing in the end. So at the end of our session, if you learn something meaningful about a faction, increase your score with that faction by 1, decrease your score in a different faction by 1, tell them see how your relationships with those communities have changed. And then let's do that, and then we'll look at any debts that may be owed. So let's start. We start with Steve before. Let's start with Doc. Have you learned something? And you can say no here, and then we just keep your factions the same. But the question is, have you learned something meaningful about a faction during this session?
Oh, so the only I would say that I've learned something meaningful about the specifically about the wizards. I already have I don't know if you can add one beyond a 1. I already have a 1 in power, but I definitely understand the way and what the purpose of the conflict is about.
Sure. Yeah, you can
The
go up to 3, I want to say.
Okay. So I would have definitely learned that. That would be to me the biggest learning is that the quest for power is forevermore, and it wasn't just like what I'm used to of like the mob trying to get more businesses for fronts and things. Like this is literal power.
Okay, so add 1 to your power faction and subtract 1 from another faction that you're maybe growing more distant from, or you don't understand.
I would be probably growing more distant from mortality because
Ironically.
because it's just I haven't really made the connections with my past and things like that to kind of make that an advantage.
Gotcha. And let's see here. This though it's on the edge, I'm still going to give you 1 corruption for this session, Ito. When you knowingly head straight into danger, mark corruption. I think you
Yes.
quite knowingly went into the potential den of evil or danger. I won't say evil, danger. So go ahead and mark 1 corruption.
Got it.
Cool. And so make that adjustment on your sheet. +1 to power, -1 to mortality.
Okay, done.
All right. How about Eugene?
I've learned nothing.
I've learned nothing. All right. Are you sticking to that answer?
Well, I can
Again, you
see
don't have to.
I've learned a lot about the wild, but I can't really think of anything that goes on the opposite side. So I've
Okay.
learned nothing.
Okay, that's fair. You can this is something you can choose to take or not. All right, Adrian.
I am going to say I did learn about wild. Interacting with Mab for the first time. And they're sort of my people, even though I'm not a Fae. And I would say I've grown away from night. Since the only wolf I really knew, I just happened to be probably murdered by the Fae.
Yep.
The irony is not lost on this MC. Excellent. All right. So let's talk about debts. Does anyone think that a debt is owed to them or they owe someone else that we didn't already go to? I think we were pretty straight.
Yeah, I think nothing. I fulfilled a debt, but no.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any were earned on my part.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Cool, man. Gentlemen. All right. Well, that is it for this session then. You guys are awesome. Like I said, there's so much drama going on, and I like the way it's going. And people are trying to force you into sides. And you're like, I don't know about this. That kind of thing. And it's gonna be interesting how this develops. So keep in mind, that things are always in motion. So for you guys, again, your homework is look over your stuff. Aaron, I'm going to let's talk on Discord a bit. We can do it behind the scenes on the private Urban Shadows channel, or we can do it in the roleplay chat, whatever you'd like to do. But let's talk about that advanced series, because I definitely want to get you taken care of.
And think ahead a little bit, because both Aaron and I will get an advance at the beginning of next session.
So keep that in mind also,
we
Aaron.
both only have one faction unmarked.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
I
So
only have 2 factions marked.
gotcha. And that'll change. That's going to go up as we start getting you in the story. But
Yep.
yeah, so
And-
cool. I'm sorry. Go
good
ahead.
note on the session intro and how it about like what you want for yourself, in effect, not necessarily for the story.
Yeah, and like I said,
it is, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll also put some stuff on Discord, probably just in the RPG chat. And you guys feel free to jump in, you guys, to give examples of like just not let's try to make it not something that specifically applies to this campaign, just so you don't get in there,
Yep.
but just in general, like just think of a general Urban Shadows campaign, what you would use. And so I'm going to put some out there, just to give you an idea of what I'm looking for, what the game is looking for those kinds of moves. And then because again, words kind of escape me. I know exactly what I'm looking for here, but I
you
can't,
guys weren't doing it.
but I can't quite see to get it out there, communicate it to you guys as well as I'd like. So I'm going to probably just do it in the form of example type of thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
So other than that, do your homework, please. Check out the book, whatnot, and get familiar with stuff. And I think we're already starting to slip in. We're going a little faster now that you guys are getting more comfortable with the system. I think, where it's like I don't have to explain the whole moves thing to you. You know what's going on and what you need to roll, and the various outcomes and stuff. So that's awesome. Just keep that up. Keep up the great work, and you guys did an awesome session tonight. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And
super fun.
Yeah, and with that, we have Steve, Aaron, Mark, and Scott of Scott's Case Files. If you like this stream, please go ahead and follow me on Twitch. And once you follow, you can also click to be alerted whenever I go online. I also have my schedule, which presently is on Tuesdays in Central Time, 7 to 10, or 7 to 8, or no, 8 to 9 rather, excuse me, is game prep. Thursday tonight, 7 to 10 Central is Urban Shadows here. And then on Sunday, 7 to 10 is Masks, Heroes Abound. So definitely check that out. Join my Twitters, my Discord, and discuss stuff there. And I hope everyone else has a great week. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you, Doctor, for showing up as you always do. And bid you all a fond farewell. Good night.
Later.
Good night.
Slay you later.